If you've seen enough anime, you'll notice that many of the most popular shows share one thing in common: a main character that has really big dreams. Being a kid, a question that you and I probably got asked a lot was, what do you want to be when you grow up? Lots of time kids will answer stuff like an astronaut, a firefighter, a can opener, the president. Me, I was like, growing up? Bish where?
What you talking about, Will?
Anyway, the question of what we want to do with our lives is something that we're constantly asked, and we're constantly thinking about our dreams. You right there. You have a dream, right? I mean, there's gotta be something that you want. Come on. Haven't you? Have you ever had a dream?
Have you ever had a dream that you
When I was a kid, a big source of inspiration to pursue my dreams came from one of my favorite things from back in the day until this day: anime. The shows I grew up watching, and even some of the newer shows that I see now, tackle this subject a lot. You got the main character, you got the main character's goal, and the show has you watching them trying to accomplish what they set out to do. You get to see them struggle through their journey toward their goals, and it can be really inspiring. Stories like these are really common in a lot of mediums, and that's because it's a subject that resonates with a lot of us. Hence why some of the most popular anime feature this type of narrative. I think that when we see characters like these who have their minds set on their ambitions, it makes us think of our own ambitions. When a character focuses on doing something and takes action, it makes us want to focus on our own goals. And when our main character is faced with a big challenge and pushes through until they overcome their obstacles and triumph, it inspires us to do the same. We become invested in characters like these because they give us the affirmation that we can do something great. Watching Naruto as he strives toward becoming Hokage, or Luffy as he seeks to be king of the pirates, or Deku as he struggles to become a hero despite not having a quirk, creates in us, the audience, a desire to realize our own dreams. What I'm trying to say is that there's something that we can take away from these shows, and that's this:
follow your damn dreams!
Alright, now I get that these shows are complete fiction and that you can't just automatically think that you can do whatever just because you saw it in a cartoon. The Naruto run will not make you faster, I think. Maybe I ought to test. Okay, look, there's one thing that I see done in a lot of anime by these ambitious characters that you'll hear a lot of motivational speakers tell you to do. Check it, are you ready? Set a clear goal, state it, and visualize yourself having already obtained it. Make it real. You feel, Jafar? Now, I don't think that doing this will automatically turn you into a Super Saiyan as much as you might want it to, but I think it's something valuable that can help anybody toward their goals. I went to a seminar once hosted by a guy who basically told us that our thoughts have a strong influence over our surroundings. The way we behave, think, and how we visualize our future will have an impact on us. Negative thoughts yield negative results. However, if we can condition ourselves to think positively and write down our clear goals and visualize them as already being done, then it's possible. Taking action is still an important part of this because you can't just wish it and get it. But having an idea of what you want and faith that you can make it happen goes a long way. This seminar helped me open my eyes a little to the possibilities of life. And when I'd go back and watch the shows that inspired me, it made them that much more impactful on me. Characters I grew up watching have their minds set on what they want, and they're going about the means to acquire that thing for themselves. For them, there's no two ways about it. They're determined to reach their goals and have faith that they can achieve them. Even when the going is tough and a character hits a rough patch and they think it might all be over, the intense drive that they've planted in themselves helps carry them over the edge to overcome whatever challenges they face. I mean, just look at Mineta from My Hero Academia. He knows what he wants. He just wants to be popular with the ladies. And that kid has drive. I mean, just look at him go.
Great Rush!
So this is all great and dandy, but what if you don't exactly know what you want? Well, that happens. Personally, I hit a point where I had no idea what I wanted or what I was even passionate about. And I've seen some of my own friends feeling stuck on what to do with themselves as well. But this topic also gets covered in a lot of shows, namely in Beck and Berserk. In Beck, the main character, 14-year-old Koyuki, feels like his life is at a dead end. He doesn't really have any passions to speak of. Koyuki just doesn't feel very optimistic about his future, but then it starts to change once he meets Ryusuke. Through Ryusuke, Koyuki is introduced to rock music and begins to really dive in and become invested in the genre. He picks up the guitar and starts practicing and discovers that he has a passion for music. From then on, his dream is to make it big with his band, and they start to work toward making a name for themselves. He starts out not really understanding what he wants or what makes him tick, but the people around him help him realize that he does have something special that he can pursue. In Berserk, we follow Guts, a swordsman for hire. Guts doesn't really have anything that he's striving for, he's just fighting for his next meal. It isn't until he meets Griffith and his mercenary band, the Band of the Hawk, that his perspective on life begins to change. Up to this point, Guts was only concerned with surviving. However, he starts to see that the members of the Hawks, and especially the leader Griffith, are driven towards something bigger than themselves. Griffith wants one thing: to obtain a kingdom of his own. He understands that he'll need to work hard and sacrifice a lot to reach his goal, especially since he wasn't born noble, but he goes for it anyways because he isn't satisfied living his life without purpose, which he states in this scene between him and the princess.
Men yearn for their dreams, regardless of their class, and no matter what their achievements have been. One can be sustained by their dream, hurt by their dream, revived by their dream, or even killed by it. And though one might be abandoned by his own dream, even then it will smolder in his heart forever. One should know what it feels like to strive for such goals, to willingly martyr yourself to the God-named dream. I find it abhorrent to simply live out my life for no other reason than I was born into it.
What Griffith says here is really true to life. People's dreams carry a lot of weight and are really personal. And no matter what someone chooses to do, whether they chase that dream or abandon it, that dream of theirs is always going to be in the back of their mind. Now, let's look closer at Guts. After being exposed to Griffith's ambitions and the ones of those around him, he realizes that he feels empty because there's no purpose behind the things that he does. In this scene between him and another character, Casca, he opens up on his feelings about this.
I'm not talking about just you. I mean Griffith also. The two of you have something important that you can stake your lives on. I think it's great. I truly mean that. Compared to the strength of that purpose, whether I face 100 men in battle or even 1,000 seems like nothing but a random act. Looking over them all from up here, I almost think I can see their hopes and dreams flickering in each little light. But my light isn't to be seen among them. Still, after all this time, it seems that I'm just someone who stopped to warm himself at the bonfire in passing.
Guts.
I think that when the people around us seem to have a goal ahead of them, while some of us may not understand what we want out of life, it can really get to us. But from what I've learned by watching Beck and Berserk, it's that sometimes you need to surround yourself with the right people and maybe take a step back and reflect on who you are and what feels right to you. Once you've done that and hopefully figured yourself out, you can set out to acquire something for yourself. This is what I've learned from the message that these shows send. If you apply yourself to the goal you have in mind, if you work hard towards it, even when the going gets tough, you can reach the thing you're striving for. Even when you get beaten down, it feels like there's no hope and everything is just too far out of reach, you can still go on and succeed. Sometimes you might feel stuck, not even knowing what you should be working at. But if you take time to self-analyze and maybe get a little out of your comfort zone, you might find something that's meaningful to you. Sometimes people won't believe in you, but it's your belief in yourself that counts. Whether you want to be an author, or you want your own business, or you want to play music on stage someday, it can be done. So let's take something positive from these shows and understand that we can do the things that we set our minds to. Unless you're Ash Ketchum, in which case, I don't even know if he's trying, bro. Like, he just loses. Like, what, bro? When are you gonna win? Like, you're not gonna be the Pokemon master. Like, this kid, he's got eternal youth, and he's not doing anything with it. He's been 10 for like. All right, well, that's it for me, man. Just something that I thought about, and there you go. Hey, if you made it to this point in the video, I just want to say thank you for sticking around till the end. Also, I want to give a special thanks to BackAlleyKat for allowing me to use his music in this video. It really helped me out, so thanks a bunch, man. Peep the links to him in the description if you want to check him out, which I recommend you do as I think his tracks are really awesome. Besides that, if you enjoyed your time here, I'd appreciate you dropping a like or subscribing if you're new. With all that said, thanks once again. I've been Spirit Detective D, and I'll see you in the next one. Pew, pew.